Were you upset that the game got extended?
Oh yes, I was. You know, I didn't like the timeout being called, and I'll be totally honest with you. I thought it was, not necessary at that moment, especially being a large lead, and then for to have the timeout to be called with 3 seconds, 4 seconds to go. I thought that was, what I felt wasn't fair to our guys, and so that's what happened.
Just a follow-up, if you wanted the game to get done, why keep the press on against Wisconsin's backups at that point?
Oh, it wasn't a press. It was just 5 pressure defense, man-to-man. That's what 5 is for us.
We're here on the left.
Juwan, you're straight in front of you. What happens between being upset about a timeout being called and raising it to a point where it looked like you hit another coach in the face? What kind of happens in between to make that happen?
Well, basically, I addressed with the head coach that I will remember that because of that timeout, and for someone to touch me, and I think that was very uncalled for him to touch me as we were verbalizing and communicating with one another. So that's what ended up happening, and that's what escalated it.
Right here.
Yeah, I guess if you could, expand on that a little more. What
No, I
led
will
to?
not expand on it. I just shared with you the story, what happened.
Well, as far as touching, there's obvious touching with the handshake line. It must have been more than that.
Oh,
is what
yeah, it
you're
was
saying.
more than that. Yeah. Touching me unnecessary wasn't cause for that when we were talking. And at that point, I thought that was, time to protect myself.
Was there anything earlier in the game besides the timeout? I could see you.
Oh no. Wisconsin did a really good job in the second half, making adjustments on defense. Give credit to their staff, give credit to the players. Like we talked about before, we came out in the second half with a run. Defensively got stops when we needed. Then when they made their run, unfortunately, we had some shots that were open, that were clear open shots, particularly 3-point shots, that they didn't fall down. It just didn't go down for our guys, but we got some really good looks. They went back down, and Johnny Davis did a really good job of attacking the paint, finishing too many paint touches in the second half for Johnny Davis. But he's a very special player, very gifted, and Wisconsin put him in a position to take advantage of our defensive lapses.
Steve, over on the right.
Are you anticipating this might result in any sort of suspension or anything for you later this season?
Well, I respect whatever the Big Ten decisions they make. It's up to them, and I will respect whatever decision they end up making.
Abby, in the back, side right.
Over here. I have a question about the game for you. Wisconsin's bench players haven't been contributing a lot, but in this game, Jacoby Neath, Chris Vogt, and Ben Carlson all had big moves. Was there something that you saw differently about them than what you prepared for?
Well, we always prepare for it. Every guy that's I've seen them touch the floor for Wisconsin, and they have a really good team, and deservedly so. They deserve to be ranked where they are. They do a really good job of playing, team basketball, sharing the basketball, sharing the game. Defensively, they're very solid on the defensive end. They have a deep rotation, and I commend the young guys for stepping up at home, especially during a special time when they're celebrating, a fellow, Badger who done some special things here at the university. The guy I'm speaking of is Michael Finley. So we expected a sellout crowd. We expected the team to come out, with a lot of energy and effort.
Juwan, what makes Johnny Davis so difficult to contain?
He's improved a lot since last season, and thinking back to some of his growth, he's added the attack downhill. He's relentless in getting to the paint. He has a nice temperament about his game where he doesn't rush anything. He gets to his spots, whether it's finishing layups or pull-up jumpers. He's also very good in the pinch post area. And whenever the defense does, he's showed a lot of growth in being patient and taking advantage of what the defense gives him. And that says a lot about the work he put in the offseason leading up to this point.
Over on the right.
Juwan, your players talked about the family and protecting family, but guess when it then leads to more players jumping in to what became a fight.
Unfortunately, it was, it had ended up like that. Didn't like for it being that way. But you know what? I respect our young men for saying what they're saying as far as we are a family and truly, but did not want it to be in a situation where it escalated like that.